If you're looking for the most effective schemes for the Madden 21 season, make sure to head over to acemadden.com. Our Pro and Elite memberships offer you access to over 10 ebooks that our pro players from TNC are going to be releasing over the next 12 months. And if you want to become a member, make sure to use code ACE for 10% off at checkout. What's up, guys? It's your boy Ace, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite ways to play pass defense this year. Now, before I get into the breakdown, I just want to say happy NFL season to everybody. I know everybody thinks their team is going to win the Super Bowl this year. Unfortunately, you're incorrect. It's going to be the Bucs or the Patriots. But if you have a different guess, go ahead and let me know in the comment section what team you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year. So let's get into the defense. So everybody's using 3-3-5. Everybody. Now, is it the best inside zone defense? No, not really, unless you really know what you're doing. But this is what we're going to be talking about. We'll talk about Tampa 2, and we will also talk about cover 3. So here's how I like to play coverage defense out of Tampa 2. So here's what we're going to do. Actually, let me go back. I need to go to coaching adjustments and change something real quick. So one thing I recommend doing is changing your zone drops for your flats to 25. The hooks and the curl flats are up to you. Generally, if I use curl flats, I'd want them to drop to like 10 so I can Mabel sometimes. But I'm going to show you a few different things I like to do out of Tampa 2. So I don't know what formation my opponent's going to come out in, so we'll just come out in like a random medium pass or something. So here's how I like to set this up. So I'll press, and then generally what I like to do, I guess this formation not so much, but I'm going to do it anyways. You can manually click onto these safeties, and then what I recommend doing is manning him up on the most outside eligible receiver. So in this case, X is the most eligible receiver on the left. I want to say the most eligible. He is the eligible receiver furthest to the left. And then same thing with the right side. You can do that with him, with RB. And then the safest thing to do would be put this guy in a deep blue. And then the last thing I like to do is, unfortunately he's misaligned, but man him up onto the receiver that he's over. So there's not going to be any baseline. It's just press and then make those man ups and then put this guy in a deep blue. I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not. So here's my logic with this. Cross manning technically is better in certain ways, but it is not better in other ways. So let me explain. When you cross man, you are going to be vulnerable in the seams for a quick throw, and people are really starting to figure that out. So I like to have these outside clouds that basically take away the flats and anything like a deep crosser that comes over the middle when they get to the sidelines. And it just really helps your defense out when you're like bracketing these receivers like this. And it's hard for them to get deep over the middles. Like if the tight end runs like a streak or something, like if A runs a streak, this guy's going to take him away. He's also going to help on any kind of seam streaks. So let's go ahead and snap and see what happens. Just use one of the hooks. It's kind of up to you. And you're going to see everything was bagged except for the flat route on the left. And that's totally fine. We will give that up. Now, the thing is, yes, we are dropping our clouds to 25. So if they throw that flat, I mean, who knows? That could end up being like a 10-yard gain. But we're willing to live and die with that. We're not going to run the same exact shell every single time. This is just one of many. But as you can see, everything's boxed. I know this is not like some crazy money play or anything that the offense came out in, but it's a good mixture of zone and man, and it's going to be really hard to beat you deep. Very, very hard, because if they run streaks on the outside, obviously we have that covered by the man-ups. If they run a post, we have that covered from the middle third from our linebacker. So right here, we'll watch this. We have to man him up to X, man him up to B, middle third, and then man him up onto the point, the slot onto the point. So you see, on the left side, we have two man-ups and a cloud. Those receivers are effectively boxed at this point because they're manned up, and they also have a cloud that's helping them on the outside for any outside breaking routes. They come over the middle. We have two hooks, including our user. We have this in case they're on a post. This will help out. If A goes on a streak, middle third is going to take him. Guy on the outside goes on a streak. Our man-up's going to take him. And all we really have to do is worry about flat routes and drags. That makes it very easy for our user. Let's go ahead. Snap. You can see everything yet again was taken away except for the running back. Now, if they start really throwing to the running back, obviously you can really take that with your user. You might be asking, okay, Ace, you're only sending 3. You don't have a spy. Of course your coverage is going to be good. Well, you're definitely correct about that. So really what you have to do if you want to send 3 against a mobile quarterback who's going to take off, you're going to have to sacrifice one of your hook zones. So you're going to have to put this guy in a spy. At that point, you are a little weaker over the middle. So keep that in mind. At this point, when you see a trip set, you're going to notice we have an outside receiver manned up and the outside slot receiver manned up. Well, then you have the inside slot receiver completely uncovered. If he runs a streak and he has a pass lead to the outside, that is going to be a touchdown. You have to know this. You have to be aware of this. You see that he is not manned up. And the linebacker here is not going to play a pass lead outside streak from the inside slot. So what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to carry him up the field and check for a streak. So immediately as soon as the ball snapped, I'm going to take that away. And if he breaks to the inside, great. That means he's either going to he's going to be covered by my spy temporarily. I can notice if he's on a deep crosser immediately just based on how the route looks. If it ends up being a deep crosser, I'm still going to run with him until the sidelines where I can pass him off to my cloud. Make sense? Any questions, let me know in the comment section. So right here, boom, take him away. And, I mean, the crosser over the middle was kind of open, the Cooper Kupp one. But it's nothing too crazy. We do have the cloud that's dropped pretty far back. You do not have to drop them to 25. I just prefer it because that's going to be even more bend but don't break. You don't really have to worry about crossers when they get to that side. So right here is a spread set. What does that mean? Well, we have a tight end. If he runs a streak, he's going to be taken away by this deep blue. Well, that means we have this slot receiver who's Y on the left. If he runs a streak and passes it to the left, it's going to be a touchdown. So what do you have to do? Just like the trips, you have to carry him up the field and check for the streak. So let's go ahead, check. Boom. It's okay, I got beat. I got beat on that. If he throws that, that's fine. We're going to hit him with the other hook curl. Might be a completion, but it might not. We just do not want to give up the big plays. That's the main point of this defense. So right here, everything should be covered for the most part, except for any kind of drags or a flat route. Go check. Underneath, everything is taken away. So that's how I like to play cover 2. Remember, you can change it up. Do not play the exact same defense every single time. So like you can do something like this. You could put the outside third over there, put another cloud over there, and then maybe man him up, do the same man ups on the outside. I know this is taking a while. They probably would have snapped by now, but just to show you some creative things you can do, you can do something more like this. Then you have a little bit more insurance on the left side as far as not getting beat deep or like B going on a streak or whatever. It's just a little change up, and then you can like put this guy on a spy and then just use the entire middle of the field on your own. Let's go ahead and check. And that's just something different you can do. The pressure's not there yet, unfortunately. I don't know how. But that's just another wrinkle you can add in. So if you want to play cover 2, to me, that's one of the more effective ways to do it, because these deep halves, let's be real, they're not that good. The deep halves and the deep zones in this game, I just don't approve of them. Man coverage is much better, and I love the outside clouds. I've always loved the outside clouds because they take away so much, and especially this year when you can drop them to 25, makes things a lot easier. So I just prefer to combine man and zone, really, and take away the deep middle, because we're effectively taking away the deep sidelines with the man up. And all you have to do, see if you man up Cooper Kupp, now you don't have to worry about any kind of seam streak. And unless, well, you can start shading over the top if you really want to. But this is going to bag, like this formation, I can just tell already, like nothing's going to be open. I'll just use her the running back. Like it's just everything's boxed. Very good defense. Very, very good. All you have to do is just be comfortable with seeing a formation like this, seeing spread, and then knowing what to do. So remember, you see spread, do the same man-ups that you've been doing, put the deep middle blue, and then here's your responsibility. Because the reason it's your responsibility is because if he's on a streak, it will be a touchdown. I'll illustrate this for you. Let's go ahead and put him on a streak, and you're going to see... If that guy on the outside wasn't on a streak, that would have been a way easier touchdown. I just wanted to illustrate for you why it's important to take that away. So that's how we play cover 2. Let's briefly get into cover 3. Okay, so cover 3, we'll go against the same random defenses. And cover 3 is where you can play a little bit differently. So if you press and you don't base align, you're going to notice that it's very obviously cover 3. I personally don't like that. I like to base align when I come out in cover 3. And then you can press if you want to. And then what I like to do is actually cross man. And this is more of what I would do in cover 3. So here's how you're supposed to think about it. On the right side of the field, you have a curl flat. Now in this case, I'm going to change them to a cloud because I want them to drop to 25 and not 10 because I set my zone drops that way. Everything is taken away on the right side of the field because our outside third is not going to get beat. Our cloud is going to bracket any kind of outside breaking route. This hook is going to take away the seam. This guy's going to take anything deep that comes from the right side of the field. Where's the weakness? The weakness is the flats on the left. That's why we have our user over here, and our responsibility is to check for the first route that goes out to the left. So if both of these routes on the left go to the right, that means more than likely there's going to be at least one route from the right side of the field that comes to us, and we have to be ready for it. Let's go ahead and check. Boom, just like that. And that's how we take it away. Our pressure is going to be there. Our pressure will be there by then, so don't be too worried about that. We did our job on that. I actually prefer not to do baseline press, but just for the sake of this example, hopefully you have a cover 3 where you can show cover 2, so you don't have to do baseline. You can just do press. But in this case, our curl flat's on the left. That means we're going to use her on the right. And then at this point, what you're going to do is read the first route that goes to the flats. That's what you're going to take away. So boom, like this. Our pass rush is really pathetic right now. I would not expect that in a game. Practice mode is just very weird about that sometimes. So again, we're going to cross man. I typically like to cross man the slots. So for instance, this guy here, I'm going to man him up on the closest man to the line of scrimmage. So if he's in a trip set, it's going to be the inside slot. But you can man him up on the outside receivers too. It's up to you. I just prefer this. And then right here, where's our weakness? We have no curl flat on the right side. So that's going to be the side that we use her. So boom, take that away. Come back down, help this. What they really had was the dig and a flat route. But these are just good coverages to mix in. Do not spam these, because when you spam these, your opponent's going to get hip to it. These are not indestructible coverages. They're just tricky. Like, it's better than running a stock cover 3, in my opinion, because people aren't going to know what's cross-manned, and the cross-man effectively takes away pretty much anything. In this case, I cross-manned onto Cooper Kupp, which is a receiver. You could cross-man onto the tight end instead, because I did say the furthest inside to the line of scrimmage, or I guess to the offensive line, I should say, not the line of scrimmage. Right here, boom, take away the tight end. You're going to notice that the cross-man got beat. The cross-man got beat by the dig, and that can be easily fixed by having better man coverage on your safeties. I've left the standard safeties that play for the Niners in. instead of putting in cornerbacks. Now you can put in cornerbacks, but just notice how nothing deep is getting open. Nothing is getting open. Everything's just boxed. I mean, yes, like I said, this is open. You could throw that right about there, and that's going to be a completion. If you have a better man coverage rating cornerback, he's going to take that away, I promise. Instead of using a safety with like 75 man coverage. So right here, one more example. We're going to go ahead and press. I like how they're showing cover 2 right now. They're hiding the shell, which is perfect. Remember, man up to the opposite side furthest inside. So tight end. Right here, I would do B. And I would be totally fine with this shell. At this point, you're going to read like a table route to the running back. If it comes back inside, that's great. We have help to the inside. Let's go ahead and look. So right here, boom, take away the outside, and then we're going to just use anything that comes to us. The pass rush is really pathetic right now because of practice mode. But, you can spread your D-line if you really want to. That's probably going to help them a little bit. So we'll do one more example here. So we'll do Y, we'll do A, we'll do deep blue here, and then user on the left side. Go ahead and snap. Right here, boom, take that away. And that is how I like to play defense when I'm playing coverage. Now, I haven't really talked about blitzes much this year. I don't think sending 6 or 7 is very good. There are a few good 5-man blitzes that you get one free, and it's, I like to use those, but I like to mix them in. I like to play coverage defense more often than not. So that's going to be it for the video today. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Make sure you subscribe for that daily Madden 21 content, and good luck to your NFL team this year.